Hey guys, Ben with Diesel Power Products here, and today we are talking about the Edge Revolver chip for you 7.3 Powerstroke guys. Let's see what comes in the box and what truck it fits. So we've got the box open here, and you can see everything that it comes with. It's very basic, however, it's going to unlock a ton of power on your 7.3. So as far as what's in the box, we've got the chip. This is going to get installed here on the PCM itself. We're going to talk about that more in a minute. We've got the little switch you can mount on your dashboard. They even include a little template as far as what size hole to drill for your switch. We've got the Allen wrench to tighten up the knob on the switch. Of course, two badass stickers. We've got the cable that's going to go from the chip to the switch. Zip ties. I love it when companies include zip ties with their products. I'm a sucker for zip ties. I don't know what to tell you. We also got a Brillo pad because we're going to be cleaning the contacts on the PCM, which we're going to talk about in a minute, and an alcohol pad to clean all that even further. We've got a carb number. That's right, this is carb compliant. So all you California guys, or if you live in somewhere that you have to smog your truck, you're good to go. No issues there. And of course, install instructions. So let's talk about year ranges. This is going to work for any 7.3 Powerstroke pickup truck. So we're talking 94 to 2003. 94 is technically a split year, so if you want to start splitting hairs, it's going to be a 94 and a half. It has to actually be a Powerstroke. If you have a 94 IDI, sorry, this isn't going to work for you. All the way up to 2003, so it's going to be any of the OBS trucks, any of the early 99s, any of the late 99s, and all the way up to the 2003 7.3 Powerstroke. As far as PCM location on these trucks, to find your PCM code, which is going to be the best way to determine which chip you actually need, because different trucks have different PCMs and PCM codes, and if you get the wrong chip for the wrong PCM code, truck's not going to start, you're not going to be happy, we're not going to be happy, and your truck's not going to be happy because it's not running. So as far as finding the PCM straddles the firewall right down by the emergency brake pedal assembly. So we've got the harness side on the engine bay, firewall, and the PCM is inside the cab. That's where the PCM is going to be. The code is going to be on the part of the PCM where the harness attaches on the engine side of the firewall. There are lots of videos online of people describing how to find it and where it is, but that is going to be the single best way to find out your 4-digit PCM code. So your PCM codes, all 7.3 PCM codes are going to be 3 letters followed by 1 number. That's it. They're all going to be that way. So ABC2, XYZ3, NVK4. They're all going to be 3 letters followed by 1 digit. If you're finding something that's longer than that or shorter than that, you're not looking at the right code. 3 letters, 1 digit. We can tell everything you need for the truck as far as tuning-wise from that code right there. If you're looking at the product listing on the website, you'll notice that we have a whole bunch of different year ranges and transmission options to go with. So if you cannot find your PCM code, or you just don't want to find it, which I totally understand, it's easy once you've done it, but if you've never done it before, it can seem a little bit daunting. Just make sure you pick the right year range for the truck and then the right transmission option for the year range you're selecting. Once you select both of those, you should be able to add to cart and get the right PCM code for your truck. As far as installation goes, and this is why you should honestly get familiar with pulling your PCM, you're going to want to pull the PCM out of the truck to install this. There are people, myself included, when I first started working on 7.3s, who will install the chip on the PCM installed in the truck. It's a pain in the rear, and there's a good chance you're not going to get those contacts clean enough, so I would spend the extra 10-15 minutes to actually pull the PCM out of the truck, get it on your workbench, get it on your table, that way you can clean it properly. Side note here, pro tip, if you are pulling the PCM out of the truck, make sure the key is out of the ignition. If you want to go the extra step, you can always disconnect the batteries, but just make sure that key is not anywhere in or near the ignition when you're pulling that PCM, because you do not want to fry it. Next, as far as installation goes, you've got basically an open port on the back of the PCM, so on the cab side, in which this little guy slides over. The only thing is, that little guy wants to slide over some open ports on your PCM, and they're covered in wax because they're not used from the factory. So you got to clean that wax off, but not too much. If you clean too much off, it'll get loose and it won't fit properly. So make sure you are following the instructions, looking at the pictures, and taking your time. That is also why they include a small little scratch pad here and alcohol. You should not be using a screwdriver to clean these off. You want to go very slowly, and you want to clean the wax off just enough to where this fits nice and snug, and you'll be good to go. Once you've got this chip installed in your PCM, you're going to want to run this cable up the dashboard, use the template, and then install your little switch. It's got a nice little positive note here so I can catch it on the mic. Yeah. Yeah. That is going to be how you're going to be able to change the tunes on the truck. You can change them while driving. No big deal there. My recommendation is if you are going to change the tunes, just make sure you take your foot off the throttle. You can be driving up a hill. You can be at a stoplight. You can be doing anything. Just make sure that when you are actually turning the knob, your foot is off the throttle. That's my best piece of advice I can give you on that. So once you've got this whole entire switch ran, you get ready to start the truck, and it cranks, and it won't start. You do not have a good connection on your PCM to the chip. Take it out, clean it again, and try again. The best way to tell that is if you turn the key to the on position, if the wait to start light doesn't come on, clean that up again. Now, as far as benefits you're going to see on your truck, this is going to wake your 7.3 up, period. If you've got a bone stock 7.3, they're not bad, but me being a 7.3 guy, it's not great either. A lot has changed in the last 20, 25 years, so a little bit of tuning on these big old 7.3s can help them open up and get more responsive very much. You're going to notice a snappier throttle. You're going to notice it's going to rev higher in their RPM ranges. You're going to notice that you're going to be able to get on the freeway easier. You're going to take off from stoplights faster. You're going to be able to tow better. Basically, all the good things that you want out of your truck is going to be possible once you start tuning it. Now, there are other side here. If you're running stock exhaust or a stock intake, you're trying to breathe and breathe through a straw. It doesn't work too well. If your truck's already got a ton of miles on it and you decide to tune it now, probably not a good idea. Chances are you're going to start seeing some injectors fail, possibly a high-pressure oil pump fail. So keep that in mind if you're planning on tuning the truck, especially if it's bone stock and high mileage. You are essentially expediting any sort of process of other parts to fail around it. If you have any questions on this, do not hesitate to reach out. We're all very well versed on these 7.3 chips, myself included. We got many different ways to get a hold of us. You can go through social medias, you can email us, use the chat feature on the website, or kick it old school, pick up the phone and give our sales technicians a call. They are available to answer any questions you have 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific time, Monday through Friday, and that phone number is 888-993-4373. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.